it's me, Essie Magic, and today I want to give you my tips on how to stop wasting time. One thing that we as humans do is we tend to waste time a lot. Pretty much we'll give any excuse to waste time before doing anything that is hard work or is scary or overwhelming or daunting or just flat out not pleasant. So the question then becomes, how do we stop this? How do we be more efficient in our life so that we can feel better about ourselves? One thing that absolutely stinks about wasting time is how you feel after. You don't want to do something, so then you're just like, you're doing busy work so you don't have to do it, and then, afterwards then you feel like crap because you didn't end up doing what you were supposed to do. So in order to stop that cycle, I have some tips on how to be productive, stop wasting time, and actually feel really good about yourself afterwards. These are all tips that helped me when I was moving to LA, when I was deciding to make the biggest move of my life. I needed to get serious because what I found was happening is I was just going to work every day in this cycle of just going to work every day, and I made a stop to it. I realized I don't want to live my life continuously in the same cycle. I wanted to make a change and do what I felt like was going to make me happy and pursue the dreams that I felt like were going to get me to the next level. And so I had to get serious about things, make some harsh changes so that I can move to the next level. And these are habits that I've continued to have even since arriving in LA and being here for years now. I'm one of the most productive people you'll ever meet. When I go to work and come home, even once I get home, I still am working on a lot of things. I don't really just, waste the night away. I mean, everyone needs a break every once in a while, but I don't just come home and do nothing. That is a rarity for me. Every time I come home, I always still do a couple of things related to my projects that I'm working on. And a lot of these things have helped me to experience a lot of the cool things you see in my videos, the events I've gone to, the people I've met, getting a good job and starting my business and getting even freelance work and all sorts of things to succeed here in LA. So before I get into my tips, I do want to remind you I release videos every Thursday and Saturday. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the new videos that I release every week. Hit the notification bell as well. And yeah, with that being said, on to my 5 tips. So here are my top 6 tips on how to stop wasting time in no particular order. I don't know why I'm doing that. So the first tip I have is to decide in advance when you're going to be working on things. This has been the number one thing that has helped me so much, because I find that if you can't even figure out or accept that you need to assign a time to work on things, that you need to dedicate certain time to things, it's like, what's the point of coming up with all these goals and directions you want to go if you can't even accept that you actually have to dedicate time to work on it? And so one thing that I found is actually setting aside, okay, I'm gonna work, spend 1 hour on this per day, on this particular thing per day. I might even give it an exact time. Okay, before I go to work every single day, I'm gonna dedicate 1 hour to this. Or when I come back from work, I'm gonna dedicate 2 hours to this. Or it could even be something on the weekend. Okay, this weekend on Saturday, I'm heading to this place to work on this. And just deciding on it in advance has helped me to actually stick to it because I have a plan of action and it makes me feel more productive versus trying to do things on the fly. Then you end up getting carried away. You end up, somebody calls you, your friend's texting you or whichever, and then you end up not getting much done because you didn't actually allocate time to that thing. Instead, you left it up to chance, and when you leave anything up to chance, there's a good chance that things won't turn out how you want. So I find that by actually deciding in advance and assigning a time to something, I end up being much more productive, and I don't have another, weekend go by where I didn't work on this one thing, or a couple weeks go by where I didn't work on this one thing. By actually assigning a time to that in my calendar, I'm able to, stay motivated, stick to it, and get things done. The next thing that has helped me to stop wasting time is to leave my apartment, leave my, house or wherever I'm living. This is something I've been doing for years, and I find that every time I do it, I am so grateful I did it. I feel so great about myself. I end up getting so much done, and then I come home feeling good about myself. In terms of where you can go, I suggest going to a co-working space or having a membership at a co-working space. The great thing about co-working spaces is that other people are there working on their projects and their businesses, and so you feel too like you should, stay focused and work on things as well. Honestly, surrounding yourself by the right people is literally one of the most significant things in your work habits. It's kind of like that saying, if you hang out with 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th. Similar to if you hang out with 4 hardworking people, you'll be the 5th. Just naturally being around people who are hard workers helps you. And then also to even going to a place like Starbucks and just bringing your computer or bringing your notebook, that has helped a lot, just to get out of the house and to focus on things. Another thing I find is that if I actually made the effort to get ready, sit in my car and drive somewhere, it causes me to work harder, because it's like I put in all this effort to come to this place. I better actually do what I said I was gonna do. When you stay home, you're tempted to just lie in your bed, or you're tempted to just lie on your couch. You're like, oh, I might just lie in my bed for 10 minutes. Next thing you know, you've napped and wasted more time. Or you'll be tempted to just sit and watch TV, or something will come on, and it's just too comfortable of an environment at times. And so it's good to get out of the house, sit in a proper work environment so that you can focus and get work done. The next item on my list might seem a bit difficult for a lot of you, or really difficult actually in reality, and that is to ignore your phone for a couple of hours. So I know this is gonna be a tough one, because people check their phone like every 30 seconds. Honestly, some people, they just can't stop checking their phone. I'm one of those people who can sometimes actually ignore my phone when I don't want to be distracted, and I find that ignoring my phone for even a couple of hours really helps me to stay focused and not get distracted, or spend more time, on social media, wasting time looking on Instagram, or wasting time messaging people, or wasting time on who knows what. So definitely ignoring my phone for a bit is something that has helped me, and I think it can help you as well. It'll be hard at first, but you will be, and sometimes too, it's like a natural thing to just look at your phone. Like, you don't even notice you're doing it anymore. That's how normal it's become. It's the same as like scratching your head or something. It's like, that's how normal checking your phone has become. But honestly, if you can get in the habit of sometimes removing the phone from your presence, I am telling you, it'll make a big difference. So that includes not answering any email notifications, text messages, WhatsApp messages, whatever, notifications from Instagram, whatever. Do not check your phone. If you have to put your phone away, if you have to put your phone in a drawer, if you have to put your phone in your bedroom, if you even have to lock your phone in a safe, do it. I'm telling you, it'll make a big difference, and you will notice how much you got done just from those couples of hours that you would have wasted being on your phone once again. The next item on my list is again really difficult for some people. This is saying no to too much fun. So, and I feel so guilty sometimes, especially when my friends ask me to do things, to go out or meet for a movie or for dinner or whichever, and I say no. I feel bad when I do that. But the truth is if I didn't say no, I would end up, wasting time again that I should have been dedicating to my work. And also too, it's like, I find in most cases they understand anyway. Yeah, you might have missed out, but it doesn't mean that you can't hang out with them another time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to say no every single time, but when you know, and trust me, your conscience is telling you, I have to get this thing done, you shouldn't be going out with those friends. You need to put your foot down and actually not go. And I'm telling you right now that has made a big difference. My friends asked me to do something last weekend, and I said I can. I have so much stuff to do. And you know what? I got a lot done and I felt better for it afterwards, so it was worth it. And I know my friends are gonna still be there anyway. And if your friends are good friends, they will be there for you later on when you decide to hang out with them as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying ignore your friends for months and months. No, don't be extreme with anything. Every single tip I've given you in this video, do not be extreme with it. I'm just telling you in general what to do. If it makes you feel better, you can even offer to reschedule with your friends immediately so that they feel like, okay, she can't come today, but next week we're gonna hang out. I think that's fair. Plus you get to have fun too at some point. The next item on my list is to catch yourself when you are doing non-essential tasks. So you might be wondering, what exactly does that mean? So I'm sure you've all caught yourself doing this before, where sometimes you're starting to work on something and suddenly you feel the need to, oh, let me just clean this table right here. Let me just sort out these papers. Let me just, organize my closet. Let me just sweep here. Let me just clean my kitchen a little bit. This is all busy work. This is not essential. These are distractions and things to help you procrastinate even more because you don't want to face what you actually have to do. I'm just being real. This is the truth. Most of the time, unless your house is a pigsty, most of the time these tasks are not necessary. It's important to recognize when these tasks are important and when they're not. They're important if it's, your house is a pigsty, and they're important if you have people coming over, because let's face it, it's, important to keep up appearances. Or at least in my world, it's important to keep up appearances. I'm definitely one of those people, I'm definitely one of those people who, when friends are coming over, suddenly my place turns into this immaculate apartment that is not like that normally. So anyway, back on subject. So yeah, eliminate the non-essential tasks and don't get into the cycle of saying, oh, I need to get organized, I have this one friend who constantly, oh my gosh, over and over again, I need to get organized. And really what it is it's just an excuse to not face the work she has to do. And so it's important to recognize that a lot of these tasks are not necessary. Yeah, you need to get organized in terms of, putting together your tasks and your to-do list and your calendar and things like that. But getting organized in terms of cleaning your apartment is not necessary. Let's face it. You can always declutter at a different time, or do your typical cleaning or declutter, in a designated time. Essentially, this goes back to step 1, which is assign time for specific tasks. So if you really badly want to clean or, organize something, assign a time for that so that it doesn't interfere with the other things you're supposed to be working on. The last item on my list is an item that requires you to be very self-aware. It is to accept what type of things tend to distract you. Essentially accept what your distractions are. Whether it be a certain person or a certain environment or the television or food even. You need to recognize what your distractions are. Essentially, the only way to make a change is to recognize you need to make a change. And so being self-aware, being, accepting of what are the things that distract you is one of the easiest ways to stop those distractions and essentially stop yourself from wasting more time. For me specifically, I know that when I am working, I do not like being in noisy environments or people walking around too much talking. So if I need to get something done, I remove myself from that environment and put myself into a quiet space so that I can focus, and it helps me be very productive. Instead of wasting time being distracted, you're literally reading the same paragraph over and over again because you're so distracted that you can't even get through something you're trying to read. So yeah, accept what your distractions are and either remove yourself from the situation or minimize how much you let that thing distract you. And this could even include your phone. So back to the phone point, just accept it and make a change. So these are my 6 tips on how to stop wasting time. I'm hoping all of these tips I gave you will help you to stop wasting time. They've helped me to stop wasting time. I'm somebody though who's very concerned about time and feels like it's just clicking and going by. So I don't want to waste too much time. And so these type of tips have helped me to procrastinate less and to, actually get things done and feel good about myself for actually getting it done, in a decent amount of time or in the timeline that I had wanted. And these tips can be applied to short-term goals or long-term goals, whether it be the things you want to get done in a day or a month or a year. These are all things that will help you to stop wasting time. If it's something that's long-term, it'll help you to stop wasting time in the long term so you can work towards that bigger goal. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below, are there any tips that you have that you think can help people stop wasting time? Share, let us know in the comments below. I do read the comments and I'd be curious what you have to say as well. And I'm sure some of the other viewers would enjoy some additional tips as well. Also, don't forget, I have a group called lagoals.com where if you want to be around like-minded people, if you have LA goals, hashtag LA goals, you want tips on living in LA, succeeding in LA, or even moving to LA, or how to, get ahead. You want to meet like-minded people. You want to ask me questions that are more in-depth. Join lagoals.com. That's exactly what it's for. With that being said, make sure you subscribe. I release videos every Thursday and Saturday, and hit the notification bell. If you're new here, my name is Essie Magic and I live my life being magic every single day. And with that being said, I hope that you keep being magic as well. Bye!